great pass. What a catch!
My goodness.
What an amazing catch from Vicky McFarlane.
Highlight reel. Never say yes to the jest. That was fantastic. Sarah Talk can make it a push for home. This is 400 herself. 13 strikeouts for Gabby Snyder in one of the best pitching performances we've seen this season. What a fantastic grab by Emma Burridge. She climbs the ladder and brings it down. Round this up the middle, that's going to score a run. Bruin score two. Deep to left field. This is back, and this one is gone. It's magic from Maslin.
Good afternoon and welcome to West Beach, sunny Adelaide, South Australia for Saturday afternoon action. James Harris alongside me, Eric Bollner and Lee Hull joining you with all the statewide super special comments for today's clash between the West Torrens Eagles and, of course, the Glenelg Rebels. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hello, how are you? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching in the world. Should be a great matchup today. Well, Glenelg, last time these two teams played, Glenelg, they may be at the bottom of the table, but last time they played West Torrens, who are on the verge of going top with a win today, they beat them. So anything can happen today on the field.
Certainly can. We've seen that lately too, Eric, and good afternoon to all and sundry. I'm expecting it to be a reasonably tight game early, and I think West Torrens getting away, and my prediction's probably about 6-2.
Well, West Torrens are the muscle out there today, aren't they? They are just 1 point away from top placed Walkerville, but they've played the least amount of games. So you look at the strength of the lineup of the West Torrens Eagles, and they've got stars littered throughout, led, of course, by Travelodge Aussie Spirit representatives Jordan Lambert, and I can see listed in the bench is Steph Trzynski. So could be too strong here for mine, West Torrens Eagles.
And of course, Glenelg have a key couple outs from the lineup, so they won't be 100% really for the rest of the season, I don't think. But why don't we take us through those?
Well, I'll go around the lineup for the Eagles to start with, and defending the dirt at first base, it's Kelsey Nucky. Third base opposite her is Lana Kaisler. The pivot positions at second base, Sophie Hoyle, and at shortstop, Jordan Lambert. The pitcher is Maddie Scott, of course, and Faith Pickard will be catching her today. What a strong infield that is. The outfield, defending the green grass that's mown, is Brody Brovnik, Alicia Marching. We welcome Alicia back, and Jackie Bills back in the thick of things.
So no Carly Allen catching today. Faith Pickard catches, is a very capable and a very good catcher in her own right as well too. That infield though at third base, shortstop, second base, and first base, that is pretty much set. When that is full strength Eagles, that's the combination they'll go with.
Huge experience, high quality players, and they know each other pretty well as well. All of them Stars representatives or former Stars representatives, and you know, the average age of them as well, it'd be around about 23, 24 years of age.
Yeah, a lot of terrific future in front of those girls, and we've commented about it the last 3 seasons, I think, James and Eric, that how strong this West Torrens side is, not only with the fielding defensively, but with their batting.
Well, speaking of their batting, Glenelg Rebels will kick us off today in the batter's box. Where's their strength lie, guys? Where will their win come from if we see an upset today?
It's probably going to have to come from the bottom of the lineup with a bit of a rotation, getting down to the bottom, getting some hits. Regan Lambert, who's a very good hitter as well, has moved down to 7 in the lineup. So you'd hope that if the early ones can get on base, Regan can help drive them home.
All right, we're just about to get set. Over to you, Eric Bollner, the best play-by-play in the business.
Brianna McGee leads things off for Glenelg. We'll get Lee to take us through the lineup in just a moment. Maddie Scott will deliver the first pitch, and that's just down low for a ball. Maddie Scott, one of the best, we can't keep saying best young pitchers in South Australia. We can just say best pitchers in South Australia. She's done it for, well, 3 straight seasons now. She's an innings horse. She just eats them all up. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, consumes them all, and she's very effective with a ERA hovering around 2. So if all West Torrens really need to do is score 3 runs, get them on the board, and that should be it. And this is hit over towards shortstop, scooped up by Lambert, throw to first. And that's what she does. She gets a Brianna McGee to ground out in a ground ball, and she's a ground ball pitcher a lot of the time. She lets that infield do the work.
I'll just go through the hitting part of things for the Rebels. It's Caitlin Carroll next, followed by Alicia Mead, Montana Edwards, Sasha Penglaze, Tamika Penglaze, Blinkowski, Regan Lambert, Taylor Mead, and Amber Dodd-Mobius.
James, a lot of new names in the lineup for Glenelg this year. What have we seen from them this season that you like? As this is hit high over towards left field, but that's going to be long and foul.
Well, this lady right here, Caitlin Carroll, welcome return. She didn't start the season, however, she made her way back into the starting lineup and right up the top of the order as well. National champion with the South Australian under-19s in 2016. But this young lady on deck, Alicia Mead, probably one of the stronger hitters for the Glenelg lineup. I think it was our co-commentator, Kathy Lambert, that said she'll have a breakout year, and I think she has.
Yeah, she's a strong hitter of the ball. When she hits it, it stays hit, and she's playing very serviceably in the third base position. Not easy for a young player.
Caitlin Carroll swings through that one. She leads the team in batting average among regular starters with a .290 clip this season. Glenelg just haven't had that consistency hitting. They don't have anybody over 300. A sign of a young team, but there are some pretty good bright spots like the young Alicia Mead. You know, Montana Edwards and people like Regan Lambert can really get a big boost as well, too.
Yeah, the batting averages might not be up there, but their on-base averages are. So I think they've got about 6 of them over 300, which is sometimes as important as that batting average.
Yeah, it gets them on base, puts pressure on the defense. This is hit hard, and the batting average leader, Caitlin Carroll, will extend that with a single right up the guts. That splits, that goes right through Maddie Scott and splits Lambert and Hoyle. So there's some pressure on the defense right away, which is what they need.
Maddie Scott was ahead of the count there. Faith Picard probably needed to call that one a little more outside.
Yeah, I think it was too fat, and it obviously went straight up the middle. So that's telling you where it came from and where it finished. But she can run, Carroll, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if they don't go still. Just try out Faith Picard's arm.
This is Alicia Mead batting now. The woman you guys were just talking about, being that rising star, who Kathy Lambert called it a bit of a breakout player in the A-grade competition.
Filtered through the Rebels juniors, and there's that steal that Lee has predicted.
Well, there you go. You got a runner in scoring position with 2 pretty good hitters, and Alicia Mead and Montana Edwards do up. Takes away the double play, which this defense can turn.
Well, Mead with a good opportunity here, runner in scoring position. She's had a few extra base hits as well this year, among the team leaders in extra base hits.
And she's going to try to drive one, but this goes right to Kaesler, who just leaps up and scoops that one in. So that's the second out of the inning. There's that defense once again.
Statewide Super Replay will show the ball just off the end of the bat here, right off the end of the barrel, and they're pretty tough to read as a fielder. She jumped right at the right moment and completed the catch.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a line drive initially, but it had no pace on it.
Montana Edwards battled some injuries last year, but good return to the lineup for Glenelg.
An illness, glandular fever, so that really decimated her season last year, right when she was in contention with that junior Aussie squad. Batting 4 today.
Good spot to have in the lineup, but Scott gets her to chase. She's ahead of the count.
A little bit off the pitch that time, just took a little bit of pace off it and committed the batter Monty into going for it.
Tries to frame one outside.
Similar pitch, similar pace, but didn't hit the strike zone that time.
Well, it's a 1-2 count, runner on second, 2 out. You figure the 2 out hitting will be the difference here for Glenelg. When they get those opportunities, runner in scoring position, they're going to have to take advantage of them. It's a powerful team they're going against, and that one just sort of escapes Scott a little bit and zips outside.
Our umpires for today's game, on plate it's Neville Lawrence. First base it's Michael Bendall, and at third base it's Kevin Tannenbrink.
Umpires brought to you by MK Services SA.
And this is hit hard, and that is going to stay fair. That should score a run. Rounding third is Carroll. And Montana Edwards has the Glenelg Rebels up early with a clutch 2-out hit.
Well, this Rebels team, you cannot hold them back or hold them down, because they will hurt you with their hitting. All capable, all can put the ball into play, and Edwards shows on this occasion a rip down the line and an RBI double.
You see that just got inside that third base line. So now Sasha Penglaze will have a runner on second base as well too. And Glenelg with an early 1-0 lead. And she swings hard at this one. This goes right to Sophie Hoyle, scoops it up, throw to first. Glenelg's got to be happy with that top of the first inning. They're on the board first, which will put a bit of pressure on West Torrens.
Yeah, every coach will be happy with a run in the first inning. They base their batting lineup around that just to make sure that runs are scored. It was their four-hitter that did the damage. There's the statewide super replay. The ball started in fair territory, going around the base into foul territory, and the runner scored quite easily. Good to see from the Rebels on the board, so they're still showing some fight, regardless of their position on the ladder.
What kind of confidence would that give a team knowing that, I mean, they make no mistake about it, you can just look at the ladder, they're the underdog in this game, so what kind of confidence would that give a team a little bit of a boost when maybe they're hanging with them early?
Yeah, I think that's fantastic way you approach that then, Eric. It was a bit disappointing then, though, because Caitlin Carroll, after being the run that scored, came out and ran for the catcher in the speed-up rule. So somebody on base, I think I've been taking a couple of pictures. But, you know, that's easy enough in hindsight. But I'll go around the defensive side of things for the Rebels. The pitcher starting is Amber Dodd-Mobius, and Montana Edwards is her catcher. First base, Taylor Mead. Second base, Brianna McGee. Third base, Alicia Mead. Shortstop, Regan Lambert. And the outfield, two Penglazers out there at left and right. That's Tamika and Sasha. And splitting them, Caitlin Carroll, who scored that first run for the Rebels.
So what can you tell us about Amber Dodd-Mobius?
Junior player through the ranks with Glenelg, so she's been a club player. Just coming into that 17, 18 age group now, so she has had some development over the last few years. Bit of a utility though, so she can play around the diamond. Interesting to see that Montana Edwards started as pitcher last game against her and faced 3 batters, and back where she belongs now, behind the dish, but she will bring some good experience and hopefully work in tandem with Amber.
Well, she'll start the game going up against Jordan Lambert, and if you're looking for a couple candidates for best and fairest, you might just circle the name Jordan Lambert, who leads things off here for West Torrens. Not only a spectacular defender, but with the bat this year, .429. How you doing? She's got 5 extra base hits as well, and when she gets on base, she can steal. She's walked 10 times, but she's got 15 stolen bases. The next closest on her team is 6. She can do it all, so a key out early on.
Well, she's the complete player, isn't she, Jordan? She's developed every skill, every facet of the game of softball, and she's up there.
And she's missed a few games as well with Aussie duties, the Japan Cup, the Asia Pacific Cup.
And she swings through that one.
Looked like she was going to the fence then, Geordie. I don't believe it. But it was a good pitch, so good, well called by Montana.
15 stolen bases, though. That's the Gowdy number right there, because the team's stolen 31 as a team, and she's got 15 herself.
Tells you something.
And she's going to hit this hard over towards short, and scooping down there is her sister Regan Lambert. So it's Lambert to Lambert, and it's an out for Glenelg.
Yeah, good pitching selection there from Montana. It was calling young Dodd-Mobius, the statewide super repo, show that change-up that just floated through and into the strike zone. Regan Lambert happy with that play. She is normally an outfielder, so that will settle her nerves a little bit as well.
Yes, you can't just pitch the same stuff to a team like West Torrens. You'll get murdered.
Faith Picard hitting .311 on the season. She's got 5 walks as well, too. So putting together another really nice season. And she swings at that one, but just hits it off herself foul. She's just consistent. Ever since she popped up into A grade, she's been pretty much the same.
Yeah, there's one thing that you get from Faith is consistency, whether she's catching at second in the outfield, She just gives it her all, and she's one of the outstanding players in this competition.
Makes it a lot easier to manage as this is hit up the middle, and Faith Picard gets aboard with a single. So very similar to Glenelg. First batter out, second batter, a hit up the middle, and with one out, we have a runner on.
You might even see a carbon copy as well with a stolen base attempt. Faith has got some wheels. She's one of the quick runners in this team.
Lana Kaesler will bat. She's only played in 9 games this year, but the game she has played, she's been very effective. She's hitting .350. She's got a home run as well, too. And she swings hard at this one, and that goes right between Lambert's legs, and it's a runner on first and second. So here come the Eagles with a very dangerous batter, and Sophie Hoyle coming up.
Regan will give you her all. She's a great, honest player at shortstop. However, it did show the inexperience there. The glove was off the ground to start with, so she needs to get that on the ground before the ball comes to her, and then she can read the bounce. But just caught out a little bit.
Or just about all the season at centre field, there is a difference at shortstop.
Yeah, I guess there'd be a lot to read, even just the way the ball hops off the ground. And
yeah.
What would be the toughest position you guys both play? Toughest position defensively to play in softball?
Catcher.
Catcher? Outside of catcher. A swing at this one.
Yeah, probably shortstop. You got to lead the infield. You've got to communicate with the outfield. You've got to be able to break left or right. You've got to be able to charge the hard hit ball.
And at shortstop, there's a lot of things going on in your mind. A lot of things. But I agree with you, the catcher. The catcher, I mean, Montana's done terrifically well at this moment, calling the right pitches, and that's what you got to be a thinking catcher. The days when you're a backstop are long gone.
Hoyle, the transfer this season, will chop this down the line. They step on the bag for one. Throw across the diamond. Can they get 2? She's safe. A near double play, but very effective nonetheless as Sophie Hoyle grounds it towards third. Alicia Mead just stepped on the bag and tried to zip it across. That was tight.
Yeah, good play from Mead. Statewide super replay. Just showed it there. She just couldn't get the ball out of the glove quick enough to fire it across to her sister at first for the double, but there's 2 out.
And you see what happens when you mix up the pace of the pitches to a strong hitting side.
Kelsey Nucky comes up to bat. She's got 13 hits this year, just a couple off the team lead. 10 RBIs, though. That is the share of the team lead, and she's got 2 runners on. She can try to bust this open here.
Very reliable, consistent player, Kelsey. No frills about her, but she plays the position of first base with such confidence, and same with the batting. Good choice of pitches, which one's to hit, which one's to leave.
Without fuss and fanfare as well. She's a good, honest contributor, and I like the way she goes about it.
Well, she is ahead of the count here. It has been a good inning from Amber Dodd Mobius. 2 outs, and there was 1 error on there as well, too, but she'll try to get out of the inning with nothing on the board, and there's a good pitch to get back in it.
Yeah, 3-0 count, you've got a good chance of it. Going to be grooved in the middle like that, but you're right, she's done a pretty good job. I'm not sure it'll work a second time through the lineup, but maybe the Rebels will bring in a new pitcher each time.
And a swing through that one, so it's a full count. These are the pressure moments. 2 outs, full count, 2 runners on.
This is good stuff from Montana Edwards, I can tell you. She is calling the right pitches at the right time.
And she'll take a walk, so the bases are loaded. And it'll be Brody Borovnik that has a huge opportunity right here. Maddie Scott will follow her. Glenelg will hope they don't have to get to her at all. Good pitch, just hugs the corner, but called outside.
With 2 down, catcher Monty needs to just concentrate on this batter Forget the runners, they're not going anywhere at this stage.
1 out is all they have to worry about. She swings hard at that one, and she gets the first strike, scooped up by Andrew Scott over at third base.
Yes, well, he's been known to do that in his time as a champion baseballer, but I think he had one eye shut then.
Brody Borovnik lines one through the outfield, and that's going to get to the wall. This could clear them all. Borovnik rounding second, Nucky hustling home, and Brody Borovnik has cleared the bases. It's 3-1 Eagles.
She's hit that one really hard. It's got past the shortstop Lambert. It got past the left fielder in Penglace Blinkowski. It's gone to the fence, and 3 runs have crossed the plate.
Yes, as simple as that. One shot. It's thrown a different complexion on the game already, hasn't it?
And with 2 outs as well, too. That's how fickle this game is. But there'll be a runner at third, and Brody Borovnik will be loving that.
Well, it's like they say that the third out becomes the most difficult out of the innings, and it proved at that time, didn't it?
Bumps her RBI total up to 7 on the season for Brody Borovnik. Just contributors top and bottom in this lineup. Maddie Scott up to bat. She's batting .279. So you have Borovnik batting 6, who's now among the team leaders in RBIs. And you got Maddie Scott, who's hitting .280 from the 7-hole. That's scary.
Yeah, that's solid hitting throughout the entire lineup. And that's what separates the top teams from, you know, the middle of the range ones.
Drops in for a strike, though.
Well, the left fielder needs to be nearer the line and in a bit closer here for Maddie.
Maddie next year off to the States to play college baseball, and she swings through that. So Amber Dodd-Mobius gets a strikeout to end the inning, but the big difference, Brody Borovnik, a bases clearing hit to make it 3-1.
Yeah, the difference between the 2 innings for Glenelg and for West Torrens was that the West Torrens defense just stood up. Every opportunity, they took it, they made the outs, they played the basics better than what the Rebels did in that innings, and the 3-1 lead reflects that.
And that's just experience, I think, James. A lot of that comes back to, as I said before, games of softball, you can get 2 out very quickly. The third out becomes the most difficult. It was then.
And yeah, it's just a fickle game. I mean, that error, all the runs unearned for Amber Dodd as well, too. Tamika Penglaze, Regan Lambert, and Taylor Mead will bat in this inning for Glenelg. The bottom of the lineup going to need some contributions. You saw that already on West Torrens' side with Brody Borovnik making an immediate impact. Who's going to step up from this side for Glenelg?
Well, it can start here because Tamika's a hard pillar of the ball, and then Regan, who's as good a batter as they've got in the Glenelg side, and then Taylor Mead's no slouch. And I haven't seen Amber bat a lot, so I can't comment on her, but she's doing a good job as pitcher, though. Doesn't look flustered on the pitching rubber, which is impressive.
Tamika Penglaze leading things off. Takes a pitch that had a bit of pace on it. You see that timer on the bottom left of your corner, 19 minutes and 37 ticking away right there. These games are timed here in South Australia. No new innings after the 85-minute mark, and this is lifted into center field. This is going to drop. That was just hit to the perfect position, and a big response from Glenelg. They got a runner on.
A little Texas leaguer, as they call them. Now it's Regan. Chance here to move around a bit. I do not think they'll be going steel here with Tamika, and I don't think Rick Mead, coach, will be bunting here. Looking for a crack of the bat from Regan here.
And Regan cracks at this one. It is foul. She did see it pretty well just a little bit early.
Yeah, when you're coaching somebody like Regan, you're very loath to go short, to go bunt with, unless it's a one-run ball game or it's out of reach, the game. But you know she can hit. You're banking on that.
Well, last time Lambert was up to bat, It was Jordan Lambert, and she lined out to Regan Lambert, who's up to bat right now.
Well, I wonder whether Regan intends to do oblige her sister with this one. I'm thinking shot up the middle here.
Lambert, of course, was in the South Australian under-23 side that went away in July last year, and I think she's still eligible this year as well. Just checking the signals on her wristband that she's been delivered from third base coach Rich Mead. Her batting coaches of late have been teaching her to try and swing the bat hard.
We saw that on her first pitch as well, too. Counts at 2s. Penglaze at first. Glenelg in an early hole, down 3-1.
Probably take a bit of pace off the pitch this time. It was. It had a little off it, but a little wide.
And that drops down low, so this has got very interesting. We've got 2 runners on. Taylor Mead will be tasked with this responsibility.
Well, as I said before, I haven't seen a lot of Amber batting, so I was thinking Taylor might go short, but...
She tries to play a bunt here. There's a bunch of Meads involved in this Glenelg Baseball Club, a pretty proud family name involved with the Rebels. What do we know about Taylor?
Twin sister Alicia Mead and the daughters of head coach Rick Mead. Can swing a hard bat as well. And she'll be looking to break out just like her sister has, perhaps in this last part of the year.
I think I'd still go short.
And she puts down a bunt. It's picked up. Throw over to third. They get the force out, and there's that defense once again from West Torrens. That's a tough play to make, and it's an important one because it keeps a runner off third.
Absolutely nothing wrong with this play or bunt from Taylor Mead. She puts it down perfectly, but the aggressive third base player in Lana Kaiser swoops onto that one and fires it across to Lambert, who's got third base covered. Excellent play from the West Torrens Eagles.
You mentioned it off the top of the show and in between the innings as well, too. Big difference is just that defense, and those are the little plays right there.
Well, Amber's not going to die wondering. He is having a real cut at the first pitch.
Still in a good position. They've got a runner on first and second with just 1 out in the top of the order coming up. And Amber Dodd-Mobius, a good opportunity. She can help herself as the pitcher in this game, put a bit of run support on the board, but she swings through that again. Maddie Scott gets her to chase. She's behind 0-2.
Yeah, Scott not wasting any time to get in front of the count here.
And it's a 3-pitch swinging strikeout from Maddie Scott. So what looked promising was runners on first and second and nobody out. Now same position, but there's 2 outs on the board. So they're on the ropes, Glenelg, but they're not, or West Torrens, sorry, but they're not taking too many punches.
Experienced batter now, Bree McGee.
Brianna McGee grounded out in her first at-bat. And she hits this over towards short. Lambert scoops it up, throws over to first, and she just makes that look so easy. They dip and dive their way out of some trouble, and they keep just the 1 run on the board. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 3-1 Eagles.
Well, we mentioned it just in the half-inning break just before that West Torrens were doing the basics right, and again, spot on this inning with that force out to the lead runner on that bunt play, and then Lambert with that ground out. But nice to see that Maddie Scott looked a bit fired up there after walking a runner and
having a run, a hit and a walk there.
Yeah. She came back firing with that strikeout.
Yeah, and but you are right about the defense. Like even that play from Lambert right there, she makes just a play that isn't necessarily routine, just easy. No problems at all. There's never any stress about it.
It's always tough charging the ball and having to make a throw on the run as well.
especially with runners on base, because your margin for error is nothing.
Well, the Rebels have swapped their outfielders here. Tamika's going over the right, and the sister Sasha's going over the left.
So slight adjustments in the field. We are, of course, bringing you this live coverage. Thanks very much to Spacequake Sports, Statewide Super, MC Sportswear, and MK Services SA. You can catch the action at home from the comfort of your couch on NITV on Sunday afternoons at noon. It's all special thanks to Softball SA and Spacequake Sports. We'll bring you the Statewide Super Junior Player of the Week at the completion of this inning.
3 outs away from it, James. We'll find out. Great initiative every week.
And I think the sisters Pengler swap because ball's getting hit out the left field. I think Sasha can chase it because of her youth compared with her sister.
Well, it could be a good little coaching adjustment, but Alicia Marchink, the 8th batter here, followed by Jackie Beal and Jordan Lambert. They're all due up this inning.
Haven't seen Alicia out here for a while. I think work, commitments, I think has prevented her from coming.
2-1 count.
Of course, a police officer in the
Zapole
on the beat.
Swings at that one and chops it off of her foot.
What is Andrew Scott doing out there?
I don't know.
Trying to get in the play.
Running around like an unregistered B double then.
Actually, a player we haven't seen in a while on deck, Jackie Beal. We saw a lot of her in the left-handed batter's box last year. Very effective, but she's looks like she's swinging righty at the moment.
And Marchink swings hard at that one, and that gets through the infield. It was just put in that awkward position between Meade and Lambert. So Marchink's aboard.
We were just talking about the 5-6 gap on Wednesday night, Mark Cramp and I, because you had a tale of two stories with Alex Mackey for the Hills Heat right on the line. She was a step away from the line, a footprint away from the line, whereas for Jessie Keach for Sturt was probably about 2 or 3 steps way off the line and defending that gap. And you know, we saw examples of why you probably should have the third base player pretty close to the line, tight on the line or not, because we saw hits either side of the third base player. This occasion up the 5-6 gap, and we can see that Rick Meade has just moved her up the middle just slightly.
Another adjustment, and this one just off the glove of Meade, and runners on first, runners on second. So Jackie Beal, a player that, as you mentioned, James, quite effective, gets aboard. So it's 2-1. And, yeah, you know, just Jordan Lambert up to bat. Easy, right?
Statewide Super replay just shows that Alicia Meade had to try and shark that one off in front of the shortstop, Regan Lambert. Just tipped her glove and just out of reach. So trying to cover that gap like we just saw where that hit went through from Alicia Marchink.
This is not what the Rebels needed. 2 people on at the bottom of the order and now the top of the lineup.
Well, Lambert leads the team in hits, walks, stolen bases, batting average.
She might go running bunt. I haven't seen one from Jordan lately, but maybe it's today, this game.
She can pad her RBI lead here as well, Lee.
Yep.
With a crack of the bat. And this is her second time seeing Amber Dodd. And this is hit over towards second, and it's just dropped. An unfortunate play. It's a tough one to make. Brianna McGee scooped it up and lost the ball as she was trying to force out the runner from first, and that's going to load the bases.
Statewide Super replay. She had to break to her right side. Just got a bit of a nasty hop there. It just came a little higher than the first bounce, and it just came off her chest in the end, and all runners advance. Loaded bases now.
Clever batting by Jordan, hitting the ball behind the runners, not towards third base.
Maybe she's struggling a little with the off-pace pitching of Dodd Mobius because we've just seen her come back from the Asia Pacific Cup and SummerSlam events with some of the best players from the Asia Pacific region.
Yeah, she would have been facing a bit quicker pitching than this, I dare to say.
Just getting that timing back, I'm sure. As Faith Picard drives this up the middle. That's going to score a run. That's going to score 2. And Andrew Scott gives her the wave around for 3. It's a double from Faith Picard, and it's a 6-1 lead.
Well, you give the Eagles a chance, and they're going to jump on it. statewide super replay shows. Great shot from Faith Picard. That's her second hit of the game. And 3 RBIs to go along with that. None out, runner on second base.
Just relentless. There's no gap in this lineup at all.
No, no.
Doesn't get easier with Lana Kaisler, a former best and fairest winner as well, and Stars regular. Helped anchor that team to one of the best performances, well, in really the last half century, getting to the gold medal game. She chops this one behind home plate, and it is caught by Montana Edwards, and that's a key out.
Nearly overran the ball, but she was able to correct herself there and complete the good catch, leaving Picard on second base.
That's an excellent call by Montana Edwards then on the pitch. Just real slow change-up. Batters of this quality do not like the ball with no pace on it. Here's another one.
And Sophie Hoyle cracks this one. This is back to the track, and that is gone.
And that was the difference. That had pace on it. You have a look at the replay. That had pace on it, and it went.
A bomb from Sophie Hoyle. It's 8-1. And look at them celebrate.
Well, Sophie Hoyle just played up for the TV there, a bat flip, and then a slow trot around the bases. And so she enjoyed that and took as much as she could out of that one.
8-1 now. I'm sure we'll get a statewide super replay, but it was a no-doubter off the crack of the bat, and we'll see if we get the flip in there as well, too.
It's got that sound, doesn't it? When you, as you said, Derek, crack of the bat just goes.
Well, how do you follow this one up, Kelsey Nucky?
Hard act to follow. Oh.
We're in the second inning, and everybody has scored except for Brody Borovnik, who has a triple, and Maddie Scott, who's the pitcher.
And Brody's got some RBIs to go with it.
She got three of them.
Interesting outfield placement here. They're in regulation spot. Maybe even the left-hander is around towards left center. I would probably have the center field center left and the left fielder closer to the line, because these West Torrens hitters are pulling everything today.
Yep. Yes, that's a good pick up there, James.
Nucky had a walk and then scored, and she swings through that one.
Well, I see it, but I don't believe it.
So it's the second out of the inning. Handy strikeout there, brings up Brody Borovnik. She's got that triple earlier. That's just a good pitch right. Oh, there's the home run. Crushed.
Clean as a whistle.
Yeah, enjoying that one, Sophie Hoyle.
You can see the umpire just making sure she touches them all.
Well, Neville Lawrence, plate umpire, likes to work quick, the Hall of Famer, and I'm not sure he would have been impressed with Sophie taking her time coming home then.
Chop foul. Well, we're 1 out away, James, from awarding the Junior Player of the Week, thanks to Statewide Super.
Great initiative from Statewide Super, and she's from the Glenelg Rebels, so you Rebels fans, get ready. Statewide Super Junior Player of the Week.
Spoiler alert. We've narrowed it down to one of 7 clubs. Huge. Brody Borovnik takes a couple pitches so far. And she hits this hard over to short. Well played by Regan Lambert. Throw over to first. Got her. So that will end an explosive inning from the Eagles, capped off by a bomb from Sophie Hoyle. And there's another look at it right there on the Statewide Super replay. It's 8-1.
We saw a 3-run double from Faith Picard, and then you saw Sophie Hoyle with a 2-run moonshot. So the Eagles stamp their authority on this game, and we could be in for a run rule, an early finish perhaps. But right now joining me is, of course, the Statewide Super Junior Player of the Week, Georgia Loy from the Rebels Club. Welcome to the broadcast.
19 out, 42 in.
the statewide Super Junior Player of the Week has joined us. Just little delay here as we go through some changes here from the umpires. But Georgia Loy, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you for having me.
No worries at all. So you're a junior player in the Glenelg Rebels Club. What age group do you play in, Georgia?
I play in the juniors.
In what grade? Under
13s.
Under 13s. And what position do you play?
Catcher, first and third.
So a bit of an all-rounder. Do you have a swing of the bat as well? Do you normally hit?
Yeah, sometimes.
Now, you're actually out injured today,
Yeah.
so it's a leg injury, is that
Yeah.
right? But you'll be back
Next
in
week.
action next week. I bet you can't wait for that. Now,
Yeah.
I'm just going to call some of the action as we go. Caitlin Carroll from the Rebels pops this one up, and in foul territory, Lana Kayser makes a great catch. Now, Georgia Loy, statewide Super Junior Player of the Week. How long have you been playing softball?
This is my second season with the Glenelg Rebels.
Second season, and who's your coach?
Beck and Lauren Jury.
Beck and Lauren Jury, and Lauren, of course, in the dugout for the Rebels today. And so you are from the Rebels Club. Do you have a favourite player?
Probably Barb or Beck, because they're both really amazing players and they're both really good role models.
Barb Skopova, you're talking about from the Czech Republic. Have you done some clinics with her? Has she taught you a thing or two about softball?
No, I haven't done a clinic with her, not yet.
But you've just seen her play and like the way she goes about it?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So, Georgia, talk us through it. Why softball? What drew you to softball firstly, and what do you love about it?
My mum introduced me to softball. She played when she was around my age, and I went to a softball clinic and I just loved it. And then my first season was just really fun, and it's really fun how you can learn new skills, meet new friends and amazing people, and there's friendly competition.
What a great answer from a statewide Super Junior.
One of the best we've heard, I think.
Player of the Week. We just saw a pop-up to shortstop Jordan Lambert for the second out. So West Torrens making some quick work here of the Rebels, but Montana Edwards up to bat. So you're in the under 13s, go up to under 15s. You play any under 15s on occasion?
I played one under 15 game, and that was a really fun experience. And can't wait to go out there and start playing.
Get back from injury next week. Awesome. Well, Georgia Loy, we have a certificate for you, and it's from Statewide Super, and congratulations for being our Junior Player of the Week. Thank you for joining us as well. Well, Georgia Loy, the statewide Super Junior Player of the Week, and wasn't she a beauty?
She's got some good insights into the game already too. So I don't know, maybe in a couple years we'll be giving her the statewide Super Player of the Game for the Glenelg Rebels A grade side when she keeps working her way up the junior ranks and up there. But a great initiative from statewide. Montana Edwards is batting. There was a fly out in foul territory, and then over to shortstop as well from Caitlin Carroll and then Alicia Mead respectively. Montana Edwards, she's got a double which drove in Glenelg's lone run, and she's been battling away here.
Good turn of bat so far for Monty.
And this is chopped up in the air and lost in the sun. Hoyle just lost that in the sun, and
so one of the
foul ball.
substitute players, Alice Prokopek, come in for Kelsey Nucky. She is carrying a slight leg injury. The game is out of reach. Statewide Super Replay will show it. And she just lost it there right at the last moment in the sun.
Oh, look how close. That was so close to being fair as well, too.
Or life for Montana Edwards.
I think she thought she was on base, so
yeah, it seemed that she was going to go to second there at one stage.
And she'll take a walk. So Montana Edwards really impressive in the batter's box today. We'll bring up Sasha Penglaze, who will need to help string together some hits here to get Glenelg back in the game. Otherwise, they'll be in danger. The run rules will come into effect. We'll be talking about it at some point.
It's already out to 7 if West Torrens can hold Glenelg here and then have another big inning. It could be over by the end of this inning, but more than likely maybe the next one or the one after, unless something can change.
10 after, what's it after?
15 after 3.
15 after 3.
10 runs after 4 and 7 runs after 5. So the work is cut out for the Rebels.
And this is driven to center field. A leaping catch! A fantastic catch! That's why she's on the national team. Jordan Lambert, what a spectacular play.
Breaks up the middle here as the ball was traveling. It didn't quite have the muscle that the hitter was after. It was Sasha Penglace. Let's watch the statewide super replay here in super slow motion. Not a bad piece of the ball in the end, and Lambert just
plucking it.
She hardly got off the ground because she was reading the ball as it was flying through the air, and all that it took was an extended reach.
And a $1 million smile from that as well, too. Chock full of highlights for West Torrens, whether it be 2 bases clearing hits with bases loaded, a home run, a couple spectacular defensive plays. That is a great sight to see.
Well, we're now in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, and Glenelg is staying with Dodd Mobius. I may have thought that after one time through the lineup they may have changed, but things could start to get ugly for the Rebels if they can't start to make the basic plays in the field, Lee.
Yeah, exactly right. But I think I'd still, if they're going to persevere with it, well, just keep throwing off pace. Nothing with any semblance of pace or otherwise it disappears.
Got to keep the ball down as well, because if the ball's up and around waist height, you'll see more home runs just like we did last inning from Sophie Hoyle.
Madison Scott, the pitcher, up to bat, leading things off. She seems to have changed her batting approach over the season as well, too. She takes more of that run at it.
Yeah, from the left-handed batter's box, it's known as a slap hit. And she can also do a running bunt or swing away from that position. So there's some very good players in the US national team that can do that sort of 3 pronged attack from that left-handed batter's box, and it's so dangerous, and you can do it on the move. So we will see if she swings away or tries to.
Yeah, sorry, James. It puts a lot of doubt in the fielders' minds about where it's going.
However, up by 7 runs in just the 3rd inning, you don't think that we'll see a bunt attempt here, so we might see Scott swinging away.
That just paints a corner there, so it's a 2-2 count.
During the week, Maddie Scott named in the 30-player Aussie Under-19 squad that will be reduced to the team that will travel for the Junior Worlds later in the year on the west coast of the USA.
Be a pretty cool tournament to be a part of. What a trip that would be, eh? Alicia Marchink, she's been on base and scored already in this game.
So a feather in the cap for Dodd Mobius to strike out an Aussie squad member in Madison Scott.
Twice out of 2 turns at bat.
And Marchink drives this over towards left field. That takes a bounce, and that's going to roll close to the wall. Marchink will step at second. She's going to hold up there. What a hit from Alicia Marchink.
Just rips this one as it was grooved down the middle. Great shot, left fielder Penglace gave up on that one, just out of her reach. Caitlin Carroll had the hard yards to do, the throw just away from the cutoff player. The statewide super replay shows that she puts her head down and accelerates through to second base.
Jackie Beal looks to follow off what she had a hit the last time up to bat. That scoops away, and that's going to put a runner at third. Marchink easily advances over towards the last corner of the diamond.
Quickly through the lineup 2 times. This is the 9-hitter in the lineup for the Eagles. Do you think we'll see a pitching change, Lee?
Not just yet, I think. Change of innings, I think. James.
Chops this one foul. West Torrens with the big lead right now. If they can hold on to it, they'll move up to 28 points at the top of the ladder and the same number of games as Walkerville. Of course, we had that epic grand final between those two teams last year. They could be on a collision course again. Sturt and Port Adelaide just outside of that mark there. Sturt on 19 games. They're just 1 point out of a top 2 spot. That top 2 spot's so important. The double chance game.
And the other games being played today is, of course, third place Sturt versus second place, top of the table, or at the moment, Walkerville. The result of that game may shape the top 2.
If Sturt can win that and put themselves in a top 2, it'll be a little bit of a surprise, I think, to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's the 6 o'clock game. The game at 4 o'clock on Diamond 2 is Port Adelaide versus Hills. Hills will have to come back hard after Wednesday night. James, you saw that game. A lot of mistakes made, wasn't there?
And if,
I believe.
And if Port Adelaide win that game, it's a walk for Jackie Beal. If Port Adelaide win that game, it is officially set the top 4. We just don't know the order. Right now, Hills are 8 points back, and they can only get a maximum of 8 points. Their run differentials, or the runs against, are really going to hurt them, but it is, I guess, mathematically possible.
Yeah, we spoke about this Wednesday night as well, and it was just off the back of the first 9 games, they were undefeated, Port Adelaide. And that was largely due to the pitching performance of Katie Sutherland-Finch. Their last 8 games, though, just the 2 wins and 6 losses, but back in the winning circle on Wednesday night with a pretty convincing win as well. So we may see a new Port Adelaide, or the Port Adelaide of early part of the season, but they have to get past the Hills first and foremost today and stay in touch with the top 3 teams, but they do have 7 more games to play after today.
Jordan Lambert up to bat. This is their 3rd time facing Amber Dodd-Mobius. Will she make the adjustments to that different pace you were talking about earlier from seeing that Aussie caliber competition?
She got after the first pitch this turn at bat, which is a little different from her first 2.
That one just lobbed a little bit high. 2-1 count.
The idea was right.
2-1, so good hitters count. Lee, would you be telling her to swing hard for this or just meet the ball?
I think just meet the ball if she can.
This one slips away, and that's going to score a run. Marchink will slide into home, and a Jackie Beal will go over towards second. So that moves it up to a 9-1 game. And that, oh my goodness, a couple other defensive issues there, and that's going to score another run to make it 10-1.
Yeah, just an overthrow back to the pitch on this occasion. Glenelg Rebels going to talk it over as Rick Mead comes out for a chat. And that might be it for Dodd-Mobius, I think, because we
probably
can see...
going to be Sasha comes into pitch, I think. Panglaze. Or Taylor.
Try again, Taylor.
Or Taylor, yep, that's fine.
Well, we will see the changes in due course, and not too bad of an effort there from Mobius. Dodd-Mobius was always going to be up against it. She pitched a couple of innings against her on Saturday, and she was serviceable, but even the the Sturt Falcons were able to get onto her more so the second time around in the order like we saw.
The 10 is very misleading, I think, on Amber, just because you take a look at the first inning, it was a 3 RBI double, but it was because there was an error earlier in that inning. There was also a couple errors in the second inning which scored the run, and there was just a couple defensive miscues that scored a couple more. So West Torrens, credit to them completely because they're hitting. They have had a couple clutch hits, but the Glenelg defense hasn't been as sharp as it probably could be.
Interesting to see the pitching change halfway through a batter, or 2/3 of the way through the batter. A 3-1 count now for Lambert. But a little bit quicker, I would say, Taylor Mead than our previous pitcher, Amber. The defensive changes, we see Lauren Jury move to second base. She's coming into the game. Bree McGee over to first. Taylor Mead into pitch, and Dodd-Mobius comes out of the game. So just a 4-player rotation there.
Yeah, 3 to 1, 1 to 4, 4 to 3. Yeah, as you mentioned, James, the income player is Lauren Jury at second.
3-1 count. It is 10-1 in favour of the Eagles in the bottom of the third.
And Lambert will walk. One pitch she'll face, and she's aboard, and there is one out. And Jordan represents the Mercy Rule run.
15 after 3.
But if she goes up 11-1, it'll mean Glenelg will come up to bat, and they'll have 3 outs to score a run. So we go into Mercy Rule territory with a run here. But you're right, 6 more runs, and then it's something completely different.
Only 1 out, and we're the number 2 hitter in the order, so
Faith has been driving the ball.
I can't see the Eagles letting up now.
She's got a single, she's got a double, she's got 3 RBIs, and she's scored. Faith Picard, have yourself a ball game. She seems so dialed in every time you look at her.
She's an absolutely outstanding player, one of the better players in her age group in the country.
Just drops down low.
Lambert, of course, staying put on first base, up by 9 runs in the 3rd inning, and you don't want to disrespect your position too much, and so you won't see too many bunts, or you won't see any bunts or stolen bases.
Yeah, and I think in any other situation, Jordan Lambert would have taken off by now.
She probably would have stolen 3rd as well.
Yeah, she has 15 on the season. Well, runner in scoring position, Lana Kaisler up to bat.
Well, she'll be wanting to make amends from her last turn at bat, a pop-up back to the catcher.
You saw that earlier in the season, Andrew Scott talking to his team about stealing bases. This is a nice play over towards 3rd, and that's a good heads-up play by Alicia Mead to make the play and go over to 3rd to get the force out, and that's because it takes Jordan Lambert off the base pass as well, too.
Catcher speed up enforced here as Faith Picard is
number 7.
The runner on 2nd.
And back goes Jordan Lambert into the game.
It's all you need, isn't it?
So Sophie Hoyle hit a home run the last time she was up to bat, straight over that left field wall. It is a 10-1 game. That one just a little bit high.
Well, it's not often you see 2 home runs from one player in a single game. I think Sophie Hoyle is thinking one thing here.
Yeah, she's probably got an opportunity. And she's going to drive this over towards left field. It's going to score a run. And Kaisler also hustling around 3rd. Sophie Hoyle gets a double, and she gets 2 more RBIs to cap off what has been a fantastic day. It's a 12-1 ball game.
It's not over yet either for the Rebels. Statewide Super Replay will show the ball. A couple bounces into the fence and 2 runs crossing the plate.
Big game. She scored twice. She's got a home run. She's got a double. 4 RBIs total. Kelsey Nucky struck out her last time at bat. She scored in the 1st. This is her 3rd plate appearance in 3 games. That was just off the side of the bat. Sorry, it's not Kelsey Nucky. It's Alice Prokopek who's pinch hitting for Kelsey Nucky.
She's come into the game last defensive innings.
She did. That's my bad.
For Kelsey.
Very patient hitter, Alice Prokopek. Swings through that one.
Good timing as usual, Eric.
I know.
Will be determined here on a 0-2 count to protect the zone.
She's not afraid to lay off. And Prokopek hits this hard, but that's going foul. So, like you said, is she just trying to, anything that's close to the zone, will she just try to tap away?
Yeah, trying to protect. So Prokopek, originally from the Riverland area, and in a couple of weeks' time, we won't be broadcasting on the Saturday afternoon because of the Junior State Championships. It's a bye round for all associations around the state, and we will travel to Berry, Glassy Park in Berry, and as the Riverland hosts the Junior State Championships over at the Adelaide Cup weekend.
And from a softball SA perspective, what are you looking for out of that tournament in terms of talent, administration? How does that work?
Absolutely fantastic event and hosted by the affiliate associations as well. So it rotates around a little bit. Announcement soon for the 2020 Junior State Championships will be made probably by the end of this month. That's our tip, but we'll see the best junior players from around the state all converge into Berry, and the Riverland Association will play host for the first time in about a decade as well, and really looking forward to it. They've got a fantastic facility there, and there's going to be plenty on offer through under 13s to under 17s boys and girls.
And Prokopec drives this towards center field, and that goes over the head of Carroll. That's going to score a couple runs, and Prokopec is pushing for 3. It's a triple, and it's more runs for Glenelg, or for West Torrens, sorry.
A massive shot here from Prokopec. This one is a line drive over the head of the center fielder. Couple of bounces and into the fence. Prokopec looked like she was jogging between second and third, and great shot. She looked real smooth in the running around bases as well. She looked good. Unhampered by that foot injury that she'd been carrying for a little while. And
well, it's 13-1 now. A big game, a big day out for the West Torrens Eagles. And Prokopec just off the bag a little bit. She'll be safe. This is the 9th batter in the lineup.
Yes, they're coming cold like Alice did. That was a cracking shot, wasn't it?
And we talk about the patience. We talked about her waiting for that pitch. She went behind 0-2, and she fouled a couple off. She took a couple pitches, and she just drove one when she saw an opportunity. Borovnik, this gets through the infield as well, too. Prokopec will score. It's 14-1. Brody Borovnik has 4 RBIs on the day.
Yeah, a good piece of the ball, but not Glenelg's day at all. This one has gone through Alicia's legs at third base. So they are desperate for this third out of the inning. Maddie Scott, of course, the first out of the inning.
14-1, they're now 2 runs away from ending it this inning, so Maddie Scott represents that run right now.
Well, she's due, Maddie, isn't she, with the bat? 2 attempts, 2 K2s.
Well,
I'm thinking it's going out the left field this time.
West Torrens have now scored 95 runs on the season. So they'll look like they'll be the first to 100. This is chopped towards the pitcher, throw to first, got her. And that will end the inning.
Well, 13 runs is the lead. Taylor Mead here on the statewide super replay will field off her own pitching. And nice and easy makes the play just in time as Maddie Scott tried to beat that one out. And a couple of changes being made here from Coach Scott. Rookie coach Andrew Scott in his first season coaching women's softball. Avi Wheeler's going to come out to the field.
Jordan was the second one.
And look at this pitching change coming in right now, Eric Bolnar.
Is this the grand return? Steph Trzynski, Team Australia pitcher. She's been on rehab from an arm injury. She's been trying to work her way back for, and what an opportunity to test that arm out right now.
Well, Steph Trzynski coming in and pitching her first A-grade game of the season. She's had a couple of plate appearances and played in the field, and she's been battling that shoulder or chest injury that she's been carrying, forced her out of the SA Stars lineup for Nationals this year. Gee, wouldn't she have been a handy admission to that team that came second, just narrow defeat, 1 run at the Gilly Shield final. But let's see how she goes. The West Torrens Eagles with this win today will go top of the ladder, and full credit to Maddie Scott in her 3rd season pitching. She's done very well, but when you see the likes of Steph Trzynski coming in for relief, you like the West Torrens chances heading into the pointy end of the season.
Well, you know what? Last year in that championship game, it was back and forth and back and forth. It was a fantastic ball game. both of the pitchers had a bit of wear and tear towards it at the end there. That second pitcher would have been probably pretty helpful towards the end of that game as well, too. But Matt, you're absolutely right. Maddie Scott has been fantastic the last 2 seasons now. She had that great year last year, and she's backed it up to prove that it was certainly not a fluke. She's off to college next year. Very exciting to see.
Well, these changes were brought to you by MK Services SA. And of course, we really appreciate our partnerships within softball in South Australia, because we couldn't bring you these broadcasts without them. Well, Steph Trzynski will go to work for the first time in the Adelaide competition in about 12 months. Of course, the last time she pitched, she was playing for the Glenelg Rebels.
Yeah, that's true. It's come full circle for Steph as she's now pitching against them. Up against Tamika Penglaze.
Well, she actually played for West Torrens after the Torrens Valley Club folded. She went to West Torrens before heading over to Glenelg. Won a 8th grade premiership with Glenelg and then went off to college. Jade Downs, well, another change thanks to MK Services SA. And Steph Trzynski gets her swinging at a high rise ball.
What kind of pitches does Steph have in her arsenal?
She's got a few tricks in the bag, mate. Curveball and rise ball are her go-to pitches. She can throw a good change of pace. She used to be known for the screwball earlier in her career, but that forced a change in her pitching style because of a fracture in her forearm. And she spent a little bit of time away, but it didn't affect her too much because she came back and won a few pitching awards nationally and player of the final the year that South Australia won the national championship in 2015, and then of course 4 years in college at California University at Berkeley.
And played overseas and won the pitcher of the year in that competition as well in the Netherlands. And a strikeout. Would you expect anything less in her return back to the A-grade competition?
Yep, playing for DSS Haarlem under the great Norman Armas in the Netherlands, Golden League Pitcher of the Year. Sorry, Lee.
That's right. She's some player, Steph, when she's going and when she's fit.
Statewide super special comments coming through from Lee Hull.
2 outs away from a Mercy Rule victory. 14-1 right now. It's 10 runs after 4. The next 3 for West Torrens. Wouldn't really matter if the score holds right now.
Well, with 2 outs to go, you'd think left in the game, we've got to start talking about statewide super performances of the game. Get you to have a think about that for a sec for us, Lee.
Okay, I will do that, James.
As Lambert swings and misses at another rise ball from Trzynski.
You can do it. Yeah, Regan, here we go, hey.
Lambert swings through that. It's 2 batters faced and 2 strikeouts in the return of Steph Trzynski. And Taylor Mead will come up. She's the last. She needs to get on base and string together some runs to keep this game going.
Well, there's been plenty of contributors for the statewide super performances. Lee, what are your thoughts, mate?
Well, I've whittled it down to 2 people. I've whittled it down to Sophie Hoyle or Faith Pickard. And I think if Alicia Marchink misses out, she could feel a bit unlucky too, because she's done everything right. Sophie Hall hasn't had much to do in the field, hit the long home run, and then she got a nice base hit. And Faith Pickard had 2 base hits and a base on balls. So it's a toss-up, James, between those 2, I think. What's your thoughts, Eric?
Yeah, well, Faith Pickard, it's hard to look past her just because she's got on base 3 times and she had the bases clearing triple. You know what, there's some outside performers too, like Brody Borovnik had that triple to get things rolling in the first, so that's fantastic to see as well too.
The Faith Pickard for me, having to catch the 2 different pitches in the game, not that she's
little
had to do
tiebreaker.
too much here for with Steph Trzynski, but she's coming in with a little bit more zip and a lot more movement than Maddie. So good partnership from Scott and Pickard.
Well, Trzynski dials one up and just fouls away. It's close to striking out the side here, but gee whiz, if you have an Aussie national team pitcher now put with this lineup on a team that already defensively and pitching is already strong. Oh my goodness, it's nightmares for opponents.
Well, it's going to give other sides in the 4 plenty to think about, I would suggest.
And that's what she does. She strikes out the side in her return to the A-grade competition. 14-1. A run rule will come into effect, and you can't really say anything more except that was a comprehensive victory from the West Torrens Eagles.
Well, although Glenelg got off to a very good start as we watched the statewide super slow-mo replay, Steph Drzezinski just going to work. Good action. I like how she's hiding the ball in the glove a little longer, because earlier in her career she would break that ball hand out of the glove and show the grip, but good performance. She just had to face the 3 batters for 3 strikeouts, but yeah, Glenelg early scoring that run, and you thought we might be in here, and then just like that, Eagles take all opportunities and some. They just kept piling on the runs, and Glenelg's mistakes didn't help them.
They're just dominant, this team. They're just dominant. Lee, any final thoughts? Statewide super special?
No, I think you've both covered that very well, gentlemen. But what can you say? That, like you said, James, to start with, Glenelg, look, they were into it. They were into it for 1 innings. But unfortunately, West Torrens just kept coming and coming and coming. Hats off to Amber Dodd-Mobius, though. She went a fair way into the game. And it's all good experience for her.
Well, on Wednesday night, we are going to see a clash worth watching in Port Adelaide versus the Seacombe Tigers. We saw Katie Sutherland-Finch throw a perfect game the first time these 2 teams met. It was Port Adelaide again the next time they played, but it wasn't a perfect game. The next time, the 3rd time they played, was just a week ago. We saw the Seacombe Tigers in an upset, 4-1, and totally different team though from the perfect game to last weekend's victory. We saw the likes of Cara Schulz and Jenny Dunn, I was going to say Jackie Dunn, Jenny Dunn contributing with the bat, scoring runs, but that lady on the mound for the Seacombe Tigers, Kim Reeder, had 12 strikeouts of her own. So it's going to be a pitcher's duel, you'll think, Wednesday night. So definitely one worth watching as we bring it live from 8 p.m.
It'll be fantastic.
And that's something important needs to sort of come into form a little bit as well, too, as you can see teams like West Torrens.
Well, I think that just about wraps it up for us, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah. Great calling today, Eric and Lee Hull, bringing you all the statewide super special comments. We will see you Wednesday night for that clash between Port Adelaide and Seacombe, and look forward to your company on Wednesday night. From James Harris, Eric Bollner, Lee Hull, good afternoon. Great pass. What a catch!
My goodness.
What an amazing catch from Vicky McFarlane.
Highlight reel. Never say yes to the jest. That was fantastic. Sarah Tarkin making up one for home. This is 400 herself. 13 strikeouts for Gabby Snyder, and one of the best pitching performances we've seen this season. One and a fantastic grab by Emma Burridge. Climbs the ladder and brings it down. Atkins rounds this up the middle. That's going to score a run. Bruin score 2. Deep to left field. This is back, and this